Take a look at some of these photos from inside what police dubbed the House of Horrors. Locks on the refrigerator, cameras watching the children's every move so they couldn't steal food, blood splattered on a wall. Now, Tina's son Ian was 14 at the time. Social workers and law enforcement rescued him and 5 other siblings on October 7th, 2011. He is now 18, and he wants to tell his story.
Even though Jeff is my father, I do not call him Dad. I call Jeff the sperm donor. Sandra was the puppet master. Sandra would tell Jeff to beat the twins, and she would say, this is how many times you need to hit them, and then he would go and do it. Just before we moved in with Jeff and Sandra, Jeff brought out the board. It was like a 2x4, bloodied up. There was some staples in it. He beat the twins in the kitchen. We used to have to hit the twins and call them names. If we didn't do it, we would get in trouble. Every day was a bad day. Jeff worked a night shift and Sandra stayed home all day. Jeff and Sandra would sleep until 4. When they would wake up, you would get bitched at for about 2-3 hours. Wouldn't get any food until about midnight. Sandy would make macaroni and cheese for the 2 youngest. For me and my younger brother, we would get what was left. The twins would get moldy food, spinach, shortening, and moldy bread. They had locks on the pantry and the fridge because they weren't feeding us, so we were stealing food. The pantry was about this big. We'd pop out all the hinges, and then we'd pry the door up and then pull it open. If we took the canned food, we would grab a knife and we'd stab the can and then cut around it so we could take the lid off and eat the canned food. My room was right next to the twins' room, so we cut a hole in the wall to pass food through to each other. Life was a living hell with Jeff and Sandy.
Well, Ian, I'm glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you, too.
I hate that this happened to you. I hate that you went through this. But let me ask you before we talk about some of the specifics. When you found out that Child Protective Services, the guardian ad litem, had gotten involved in this and made the decision that you were going to go there not just occasionally, but that you were going to have to move there, what did you say to yourself?
I was scared.
Were you worried that it would get so bad you would die there?
I was.
When you were there, where were you? What did you do?
I was in the room. I was pretty much had to stay in there until they woke up.
So you were in the room upstairs?
Yes.
And there were cameras?
Yes.
So they could track you and see where you were going?
Yes.
And what would trigger these beatings?
Anything. Didn't matter what it was.
We saw this board, and this is something that, it had staples in the end of it. It was, this is a weapon. You could kill somebody with this. When this board would be used for beatings, who decided how many times you were going to get hit?
Sandra did.
Was there any explanation as to why?
No.
Tell me about having to hit the twins.
It was hard. I didn't want to.
What would they say to you about that? About hitting them?
They said you needed to hit them, and if you don't, then you're going to get in trouble.
Just punch them?
Yeah.
And what did the twins do when you were forced to punch them?
They would have to sit there and take it. I didn't like doing it.
Why do you think they were treated differently than you?
I think it was because Sandra adopted them.
Tell me about the food that was in the house. What did y'all survive on?
They gave the twins the moldy food, spinach, shortening, moldy bread. They would give us leftover whatever the little ones had.
Did you ever tell your mother that you were being hit, beaten, starved?
I told her that I had been hit, but I didn't tell her how many times because I didn't want her to worry.
Do you think she let you down?
No.
Do you blame her at all?
No.